Well, hello. Happy Friday, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today at St. Edward's University on the virtual Hilltop. My name is Dinah Sbelgio Kinard. I'm one of the directors in the admission office, and it's wonderful to be with you today. Thank you so much for joining us for this webinar about our business administration program. Associate Professor and Interim Chair of Management, Mary Dunn, will be presenting, and I'll turn it over to her in just a few minutes. But before then, I'd like to go over just a few logistics for the webinar. So if we can go to the next slide, I'm just going to cover a few logistics related to how the webinar will be functioning. You're probably all pretty familiar with Zoom at this point, as we all are in our everyday lives. But we will be using just the Q&A tool to take questions. So we are not using the chat feature. So if you have questions today, please do enter them through the Q&A tool. Professor Dunn has a presentation prepared that will last about 20 to 30 minutes. And then we will turn to the questions. So you're welcome to kind of contribute questions as we go along in the webinar, but we will save the questions until we get to the end of the presentation. We will be online as long as you have questions. So I really encourage you students to think thoughtfully through the presentation, jot down any questions that you might have as Dr. Dunn goes through the presentation. And certainly let us know what you want to know more of when we get to the Q&A presentation. I know that we have a lot of you online today that have been admitted for the fall, and congratulations to those of you who've been admitted to the fall freshman class. And then I know we have students joining us who are just beginning their college search. I know we have students joining us from Texas and the more local area, as well as from places out of state. So welcome to all of you. I hope you're all doing well and hanging in there during this challenging time. With that said, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Dunn.
Thank you very much, Dinah. Good afternoon, everybody. It is my pleasure to be here. Congratulations to the new admits, and thank you all for joining us. I would like to share with you some information about business administration. I am Dr. Mary Dunn, and I'm in the management department at the Monday School of Business. I teach undergraduate courses in organizational behavior, negotiations, supervise the internship courses, human resource management, managerial problem solving, and I teach in our MBA program, Managing Dynamic Organizations. But what I'd like to speak to you about today is the business administration offerings. I will speak at a high level about our major, talk about what some of our graduates do, talk about our curriculum, and then I'll also talk a little bit about our business administration minor, which is geared for students who are outside of the business school. But I look forward to entertaining any of your questions at the end. So let me start by talking about our business administration major. We have in the business school a set of core requirements that are standardized for all business graduates. This business administration core is the same for management majors, marketing majors, finance majors, accounting majors. It's our stamp on our graduates. Computational skills, math and quantitative math for business, financial accounting and managerial accounting. There's also some business law and statistics, social responsibility of business, business communication, business intelligence, as well as finance and organizational behavior and operations, the classic disciplines within business, and of course, marketing. But what business administration majors is particular to business administration majors is they complete the business core, which we have we revised this business core 2 years ago. We went to the Austin business community and we benchmarked with other of our peer institutions, and we made some tweaks to this core curriculum. So all majors take this core curriculum, and then the business administration majors also do an internship for experiential learning. Our interns work in Austin as well as really everywhere. Business administration majors also take international business, they take a strategic business analysis and practice, and then they take 3 upper level business electives that they get to have a hand in designing and really customizing the curriculum to fit with their interests. And I'll talk a bit about that in a minute. But I'd like to first talk about our internship. So business administration majors are required to do an internship. As I mentioned, we have a number of Austin employers who love to hire our students and love to work with them and create a good learning opportunity for our students. Our students will work at either a business or a nonprofit. Students get to really shape where they go and work and really find opportunities that relate to what they're interested in. Ideally, students will find and test out companies or organizations where they might want to work in the future. But sometimes students go and just learn a great deal, even if it's not where they end up looking to get a full-time offer after they graduate. It's a great opportunity to build their resume, build their skill set, build their network, and learn about what they're really interested in. The internship course, students get credit for this course. It's a 3-hour credit hour course by relating their experiences on the job to their curriculum and their business knowledge that they learn through their courses. And here's just a sampling of some of the places where our students have interned this semester. We have students working at the marketing firm Adlucent. I've had students working at Capital Factory and NXP Semiconductor. I also have students who have done internships outside of Austin. During this pandemic, we have students who are remote. I have a student who is doing an internship in Madrid, Spain, and others who are in other cities in the US. And good news is that this semester, I would say we have a mix of students who are doing internships remote, as well as some are working in the office or a hybrid version. We often have students who do internships at the state capitol as well, which is also very, very exciting. But really, we let students drive and customize and find internships with our help and with our partnership with the Career and Professional Development Office on campus. We help students to find internships and then learn from their experience. The next thing I would like to talk about that really sets business administration majors apart for some of the other business majors is that business administration majors have a little bit more flexibility to build toolkits that are very much specific to their interests. So as I mentioned, students get some choice to choose upper division electives in our business disciplines. And the only requirement we have is that no more than 2 of those courses are within the same discipline. We rarely have any trouble where students can't find 3 upper division classes that they're really interested in, and they can take it across management, international business, entrepreneurship, marketing, finance, and accounting. And many of our students take advantage of this. So if they have some interest, I'll give you a couple of examples of students who have interests in real estate and also in investing. They're not sure they want to be a finance major, but they're very interested in perhaps moving into the real estate and working in the real estate or investing fields. I have a student who opted to take a negotiations class with me. It was delightful. Also investment principles and analysis and real estate finance. Which is a great opportunity. Similarly, we have students who might be interested in starting a business. We do have an entrepreneurship area, but did not want to be an entrepreneurship major, wanted the strategic business analysis focus. So you could take human resource management as well as introduction to entrepreneurship and entrepreneurial management to satisfy those 3 upper division electives. I'll give you another example. A student who has some interest in global business. We do have an international business major, but again, this is in some ways anchored in the strategic focus of business administration, but can sample across international finance, international marketing, international management. All of these are possible, and it enables students to really create a key niche of an area that they're interested in, and many of our students like that. I'd like to just speak very much at a high level about an exciting business administration minor, and again, this is for students outside of the business school. So this is for students who might be majoring in writing and rhetoric, or one of the scientific disciplines, or in social science, where they have required courses, introduction to business, quantitative methods for business, and then either accounting or economics or statistics, entrepreneurship. Then they can choose 3 electives to customize what they're interested in, because the business world is very diverse and there are many opportunities to go and utilize a business administration degree, or in a major or a minor, and customize it in a way that helps you solve the problems or contribute in the organizations and industries that you're most interested in. I'd like to speak a little bit about what else our students do. So I gave you a very high level introduction to our curriculum for both our majors and for our minor. But I'd like to talk just in a couple more slides about what our students do. We have, within the business school, we have a pitch competition and business plan competition. Our business administration majors are very much active in these opportunities, in addition to our internship program. We also have some marketing competitions, as well as some case competitions that our students participate in, and business administration majors are well suited to perform well in these engagements. And then also, our students engage with each other and engage within organizations. For business administration, we have an International Honor Society in business, Delta Mu Delta, and this organization is restricted to people who have to be invited to, juniors and seniors are invited to join this organization. Students are in the top 20% of their class. We also have Delta Sigma Pi, which is an international business fraternity. It's a professional organization, and their Zoom pictures, where all their cameras are showing, as you can see, are right to my right. And this organization, as well as Delta Mu Delta, are both organizations where our students develop leadership. They lead these organizations, they create professional events, they run all aspects of it. They run aspects of, with Delta Sigma Pi, recruiting new members and training them and engaging in leadership conferences. These are both broader international organizations that they are now part of, students are part of. They have alumni events. And I'm really proud. I'm actually the advisor for both of these organizations, and I'm very proud to mention that our Delta Sigma Pi, which is open to all business students to check out and see if they might be a good fit for this organization. Last year they won, or this year they won 4 very big awards. They were named the Outstanding Collegiate Chapter. They're the Outstanding Alumni Relations Award, Outstanding Financial Operations Award, and the president, where you can see in the Zoom box that says Delta Sigma Pi Theta Omega underneath her name, or underneath her picture. She just won the Collegian of the Year Award for Delta Sigma Pi, which is a tremendous honor. So I just gave you a very high level. I think I ran through the curriculum. I know that you must have many questions, and I would love to hear some of your questions and spend some time answering them, because like business administration is very broad and diverse. There's many opportunities for you all. I'm sure you all have many interests and opportunities as well, and I look forward to hearing more about your questions.
Thank you, Dr. Dunn, for that comprehensive and thorough presentation about the program. Students, I certainly invite you to ask any questions that you want to of Dr. Dunn. Also, if you have questions just in general about the admission or enrollment process or other aspects of the university, we're happy to take those questions as well. So please drop any questions that you have into the Q&A feature of your Zoom webinar tool. Dr. Dunn, as we're kind of getting started, I would love to ask you a question just that I have and that I know that a lot of prospective students often ask us in the admission office. What would you say are some of the advantages to our students in the Monday School of Business at St. Edward's? What are the advantages to those students of being at the Monday School of Business, but also 3 miles from downtown Austin, which is the epicenter of such a diverse and booming economy? Clearly, there are many advantages, and I would just love to kind of hear from you some of those ways that the university and the Monday School of Business in particular is connected to the landscape of business in the Austin area.
Absolutely, that's a great question. So first of all, our campus is second to none in terms of its beauty and overlooking the Austin connections, the Austin skyline. But I would start by saying our connection to Austin. And our campus, just getting on that campus. I've been away from campus during this pandemic, and I miss it so tremendously. Just it's so vibrant, and it's a great place. But we also have lots of Austin connections where our students in our experiential learning, our internship programs, many of our students don't just do one internship. They do a number of them. I have students who've done 3 and 4 internships, and they don't just do them because they know that will make them more successful in the job market, which they will. There's lots of great opportunities even during this pandemic, which is exciting. And yes, I think that business administration in particular, that all of our business school majors are great, but business administration in particular enables students who are intrinsically driven in a particular area to customize a curriculum and build a toolkit that really resonates with what they're interested in. There might be someone who's does not want to be just a marketing major, but is really interested in understanding the analytics of marketing and marketing research, but applying it in a different way, or applying it in a startup. So what I would say is that there are great advantages to being in the business school and a business administration major, but I think a lot of it is based on our curriculum, our campus, and our connections to the broader Austin community.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head, Dr. Dunn. And I also kind of always like to express to students that the Austin business economy is so diverse as well, right? That it doesn't revolve around just one particular sector of the economy, that there are jobs here in tech and in entertainment and design and in, policymaking and government, policymaking entities. And that really it's such a diverse economy that kind of regardless of what aspect of industry you're looking to go into, you could find internship opportunities right here in the city of Austin that are a fit.
Absolutely. And we have a number of students who are very interested in working in nonprofits as well. And so we have, I think the Austin area, one of the last times I saw, has one of the greatest concentrations of nonprofits as well. And students who are interested in healthcare and healthcare administration, and a business administration degree supports them in that way. And really, it's a foundation for really going anywhere within the business community or the professional community. And it's a great foundation.
For sure. We have a question here about internships. You'd asked, you'd given a lot of really great information about internships and examples of places where students have interned. Can you talk a little bit about when students typically in the Monday School business, when they start that internship experience, if it's in sophomore year, junior year, and also just what that process looks like in terms of how students find out about internship opportunities, how they get connected to know about internships in the first place?
Sure. So there are a number of students who hit the ground running in their freshman year and do internships. The internship course for the business administration major is for juniors and seniors. And so by the time students are juniors and seniors, some of them have already interned. Others, it's their first experience. But we try to really set students up so that come junior year, they have their resume in hand, they have their LinkedIn profile, they know how to, they work productively with our career and professional development office and use Handshake, which is what we use to post internship opportunities. If a company wants to hire our students for full-time or internship opportunities, there's often a posting on Handshake. And students can also put their resume up on Handshake. So students know we have in our business communication class, in our intro to business class, and in a number of our classes, business and professional speaking classes, we strongly recommend and put it in through assignments, an opportunity for students to become acquainted with these tools. Sometimes students are assigned to go have a virtual visit this semester with the Career and Professional Development Office and working on their resume. So that can give them some exposure to the process of how we distribute or we share information about internships, but it also gets students ready because oftentimes there'll be an amazing opportunity that comes out and students need to be able to submit their resume immediately. They can't wait on it. Just this last semester, we had a really great opportunity to work with Austin FC, the new professional soccer organization and or team, and students had to apply immediately if they wanted to be considered.
Excellent. I think that kind of is a nice segue to this next question that we have from an attendee about just how St. Edward's helps graduates or helps students who are graduating get a job as they're in their senior year and kind of looking to go, into postgraduate professional life. So I can talk a little bit about that, and then I would love to hear Dr. Dunn from you, just your words that you'd like to share, as well as just some of the places that you know that our Monday School of Business alumni are currently working or have been offered opportunities recently. I will say just kind of more broadly that the university assigns a career coach to every student, and that is part of the system that's now in place at the university, that moving forward, in addition to having an academic success coach, so someone who's kind of helping you with the curriculum choices that you're making at St. Edward's, helping you figure out what is a good fit for you in terms of major and what direction you want to go, that's your academic success coach. That person also helps you get tutoring support as needed or if needed, and kind of just additional kind of support through the academic transition process and throughout your time at St. Edward's. But then you're also assigned a career coach. So someone who's going to be kind of starting with you from the very beginning, as Dr. Dunn said, to help you start building your resume, your LinkedIn profile, polish your interview skills, start thinking about internship opportunities and where you would plot that into your course curriculum. And then also staying with you throughout the process as you're looking to apply to either graduate school or pursue employment afterwards at the university. All St. Edward's alumni get lifetime access to the career and professional development services office at St. Edward's. So even after you've graduated from the Hilltop and maybe you're looking to transition in your career, or you are 10 years into your professional career and you're looking to make a pivot and change the type of career that you're doing, you can always access the career and professional development services at St. Edward's. Pick up the phone, call someone, schedule a time to meet, and get assistance in that process of how to update your resume, where to look, where are the job boards, how can you refine your interview skills. So that's something that is a benefit to you if you come to St. Edward's, is that for your lifetime, you'll have someone kind of helping to support you in your professional career plan and journey. And then Dr. Dunn, I'll turn it over to you for additional comments.
Yeah, I failed to mention the career coaches who are outstanding, and the Career and Professional Development Office, they do great things for our students. I always remind my students, they're here for you, and make sure that you take advantage of the great opportunities. But our graduates can really, they go in so many different ways. There's no one path, there's numerous paths. We have students who go and find jobs in commercial real estate, or we have some students who go to law school, or who are interested to go to medical school, or who work in hospitality and marketing, who work at Google, who work at Facebook, who go and work at Marriott. There's a whole host of things. I have had some students who have gone and started businesses. One fairly recently started, actually two I can think of, who started businesses that have been incredibly successful. Makes me very proud, makes all of us very proud. But there's not one sole path, which is really exciting. Certainly the way that our curriculum is set up with our career coaches and success coaches for the academic side, we are more than happy to help students to really cultivate and pick classes and pick opportunities and experiential learning opportunities that really help them to go where they want to go.
And just to kind of finish on this note with that question, I do think that it just really speaks, and it's a testament to just all of the fantastic work that Dr. Dunn, you and your colleagues do on the faculty side to really kind of mentor students throughout their time at St. Edward's. I mean, as I think most of the attendees know, we have very small classes at St. Edward's, 18 is the average class size. So you get to know your faculty members very, very well. They get to know their students very well. And it's a much kind of more collegial and mentoring type of relationship that you'll find in the classroom at St. Edward's than if you're at an institution where you're maybe, a little further removed from that relationship with the faculty member. And so I know, I just, personally from my time working at St. Edward's, know so many faculty members on our campus who really feel very passionate and fulfilled working with students in that way to really help guide them and nurture them and help them achieve their goals and help give them guidance along the way as they look to do that and move on from the Hilltop. I think that's what makes our faculty so stellar, is that they really care about students, and they really care about helping students achieve the end result and the end objective that they have set forth, and helping them figure out what that is if they're not sure when they get to us, right? So just many thanks to you, Dr. Dunn, for all of the great work that you and your colleagues in the Monday School of Business and across the faculty at St. Edward's do. We do have a question here about if the Monday School of Business has an honors program. I can speak more broadly really quickly to the fact that the university has an honors program, and it's a university-wide honors program that you are considered for when you apply for admission. So if you have any questions about the general honors program at the university, if you are thinking about applying to the university in a future year, or if you've already applied and been accepted and were not offered an opportunity in the honors program and have questions about it, reach out to us in the admission office, and you can have a conversation with your admission counselor to kind of learn more about the general honors program at the university.
We do have a number of business students who have been part of the honors program, who have been honor students. We have some faculty who have taught in the honors program. I actually taught a class, I filled in Dr. Single, who's the chair of the accounting department. She developed this really great class where students, and we're thinking that we'd like to make it more broad, not just honor students, but students go and they get certified to do tax returns. It's the IRS VITA program. They do tax returns at Foundation Communities. This year it's all online. But they get certified, they do their tax returns, and then the seminar, they reflect on their learning and discuss issues of social justice and income inequality and tax inequality. But it's a fabulous program, but there's lots of opportunities like that. I won't talk about the honors program, but business students are more than welcome in the honors program.
And for anyone who wants to learn more about the honors program, we're actually going to have a Friday in Focus webinar at 4 p.m. on February 19th, specifically talking about the honors program. So you can register for that by going to stedwards.edu/visit, searching through the Friday in Focus topics, probably where you found the registration link for this program, and then sign up for that event on February 19th. You don't have to have been admitted to the honors program in order to attend that virtual event. So if you'd like to know more about the honors program and what that looks like, and how you can potentially apply for it or be considered for it, do attend that webinar on February 19th. We have a question here from a student who's asking just about our professors and instructors in the Monday School of Business. Are they still active in their business careers, generally speaking, while they're teaching at St. Edward's? What does that look like in terms of the faculty who are teaching a couple of classes at St. Edward's, but also still active in their business careers? And what types of businesses are they typically involved in?
That's a great question. Our faculty is really diverse. So a number of faculty are scholars, scholarly academics, where their involvement with the business community may be giving talks in the business community. But we do have a number of faculty who are actively involved. We have faculty who are working in human resources. We have faculty who've worked in startups. We have faculty who are working in corporate social responsibility, leading those initiatives, and then teaching our corporate social responsibility course. We have some corporate attorneys who are teaching our corporate law, our business law class. We also have some faculty who are very active in business communications, in PR, also teaching in business communications. But many of our core faculty for our accreditation are scholarly academics, so that we do research in addition to teaching, and it's really, really important. But many of us really enjoy doing that too.
Thank you, Dr. Dunn. Speaking of research, we have a question from a student who's asking about opportunities for undergraduate students to do research while they're pursuing a degree in the business administration program.
Absolutely. We love students to get involved with our research. So as I mentioned, the core faculty we're required to do research. It's a privilege and a pleasure to do research, but we love teaching our students and getting our students involved. And I know that there are a number of opportunities for students to do some marketing research with some marketing faculty. There's also a marketing research class where students engage in some research projects. There's across all of our core courses, there's opportunities to do research as well. But if you're interested in faculty level research, every single faculty member I know would be delighted to have great, eager, motivated students who are willing to get involved and learn about the research process.
And I think too, some of the kind of student opportunities that you talked about at the end of the presentation, Dr. Dunn, with kind of the case studies events and things of that nature are also opportunities for those kind of experiential opportunities outside of the classroom, right? To like work on real world problems, kind of business case management, if you will, and dissecting and diving down into that as well, which is certainly, kind of tangential to the research opportunities.
Absolutely. And we have, for the undergraduate students, we have a source program, which is for students who to share and showcase one of their research projects. And oftentimes it will be a student who has written a paper, done a project for a class, and the professor will say, this is really great work. If you extended it or think about taking it in a few different directions, or even as is, why don't you submit it to source, and then you get to present it either as a poster or as an oral presentation when, I think this year it's going to be over Zoom, in April. And it's always just a celebration of undergraduate student research.
Excellent. So there's a student that's referencing the internship slide that was in your PowerPoint that shows, some of the companies where our students have interned. And I think the question is just alluding to the fact, is that like a comprehensive list, or are there more places where students have interned beyond that list? And if so, what are some of those places? And I realize that the list is actually very, very long. So
yes. It's very long. That was just a sample, not even just a sample. We have students last semester, and I'll be testing my memory because I'm teaching and supervising 25 interns right now. And last semester, we had students doing social media for Yardbird Inside. We've had students who have done Disney internships as accountants, as finance people, as operations people. We've had students working or Visit Austin, doing some blogs and social media. Had students at Dell, at Austin Film Festival, at University Federal Credit Union. I mentioned the state capitol. Students can intern anywhere where they find a great opportunity, or where we have an opportunity or a connection. Many of our faculty often know about opportunities for internships. We often then share it with our career and professional development office so they can distribute it more broadly. But there's a lot of opportunities. Capital Factory was on that slide. One of our faculty members is a principal at Capital Factory. We have tremendous connections at Capital Factory. I've had students who have interned there. And we also have students that have started startups and get space there. It's an incubator for startups. So yes, there's great opportunities for interning. That is not an exhaustive list. We do not dictate where you internship, but we're more than happy to help you find a great place.
Excellent. I know we have students who, do internships through the Medi School of Business that are local in Austin, and internships where they're spending the summer in Los Angeles or Chicago or, San Francisco or Houston or other places too, and doing internships well beyond the borders of Austin as well.
Absolutely. Well, I had a student who got a great internship, worked for CVS, and that led to a full-time job offer when she graduates in May. She was trying to decide between an offer at Amazon and an offer at CVS. And then in the end, it ended up being virtual because it was a summer. But yes, it's the sky's the limit. There's great opportunities.
And I'm so glad you talked a little bit more about Capital Factory. I was going to actually bring that up for us to chat about, because I know it's something that we know really well at St. Edward's and even just in Austin, about what Capital Factory is and what opportunities are available there for our students. But if you don't mind just revisiting that for a few minutes, Dr. Dunn, and just explaining in a little bit more detail for those who are kind of outside of the bubble of understanding just what Capital Factory is, and kind of the unique opportunities that it presents for our students in the relationship that St. Edward's and Capital Factory have.
Absolutely. So first of all, Capital Factory, even if you don't work there or intern there or get involved in a startup there, I hope everyone will visit there. It's a really cool office space, downtown Austin. It is a space, an opportunity for business startups to be mentored and to be incubated and develop and grow. We have retreats there, and one of the days we were there, Tim Cook from Apple was coming to Austin and was speaking at Capital Factory. So this is a place where very important folks in the business world come to, especially in the tech community and in the Austin business community. But our students have the opportunity, because of our close relationships, the Monday School of Business. I don't know what our official title is, but it's a formal role with Capital Factory. Our Associate Dean, Professor David Altunian, is a principal within Capital Factory and a mentor of startups there. But it is a great place, and it's a great opportunity for students. Some of our entrepreneurial students who have started businesses can apply to get space at Capital Factory. And getting space at Capital Factory gives you an office, gives you an opportunity to be part of this dynamic community where you can learn a lot, you can get some visibility, and it's those opportunities that you have to showcase what your business is about that can possibly get you that funding and get you to the next level.
Yeah, it's such a cool place physically. It's just really cool, and also just in terms of the opportunities it provides for students is just unique. So thank you so much for talking about that in more depth. So we have a question here that's asking, what are some of the values or traits that business administration students, and maybe just Monday School of Business students in general, leave St. Edward's with? What would you say are some of the kind of standout traits and values in the curriculum in the Monday School of Business that our students are able to tap into?
Well, that's a great question. And I always, in my early beginning of the semester meeting with my interns, I always share with them what a local business CEO of an Austin business, founder and CEO who loves to hire our students, shares with me. He says, I can teach anyone to do what I need to get done, but I can't teach students to be like St. Edward's students. I can't teach them to be super creative, curious, and ethical. And he says, I don't know if it's something that you do at St. Edward's or if it's the students that you attract. And I'll say, oh, both and. I will take this. It's wonderful to have that reputation. But I think that he's right in many ways, that we have students who are very interested in business, but are also interested in something bigger than business. They're creative. They recognize opportunities to build synergies through their curriculum in science, computer science, behavioral science, humanities, and find opportunities to make a difference, not just to themselves, but to the communities that they're in. So yeah, I would say that our students are well-rounded. They are creative, they're curious, and they're ethically focused.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. And I know that our current president, Dr. George Martin, often says that for all students at St. Edward's, because our education is rooted in the Holy Cross tradition and the values of the education of Holy Cross, that we can't necessarily promise that you will always make the right decisions in life as you go through kind of your professional kind of ethics decisions that you'll be faced with in your professional career, but that because of your education at St. Edward's, you will always know what the right decision is, right? Like what you should do. And the choice of whether you do it or not is certainly up to the individual. But I think we can both agree, Dr. Dunn, that our students unequivocally are often making the right choices when they go through their professional lives. So we're very proud of that at St. Edward's, that, across the curriculum, not just in the School of Business, but throughout the school, university-wide, that our students are rooted, their education is rooted in an understanding of values and morals that are kind of what's true to them, but also kind of thinking about things beyond just themselves, right? Thinking of the broader world. So let's talk a little bit about just what class projects look like. There's a question kind of just asking about, since the classes are so small, what do classes look like? Are they lecture-based, discussion-based, project-based, a mix of those types of modalities?
They're all of the above. They're absolutely a mix of all of them. I can speak the most intelligently about the classes that I teach. I'll tell you about two. One that I'm teaching this semester is a class in negotiations, and that's an upper division business elective. So for business administration majors, that could count as one of your upper division electives. I'm teaching it in the online synchronous format because that's where we are with the pandemic this semester, and it's actually lends itself really nicely to it. So each week we meet twice a week for 75 minutes each. One of those sessions, we have an overview of the science behind the concepts and theories that we'll be studying relating to negotiation that week. And then the next class session, we negotiate. And then we debrief, and we each negotiation is an exercise that's intended to highlight some of the concepts that we're learning that week. And that's a really fun class. I wish I had taken a class like that when I was an undergraduate. In my organizational behavior class, which is one of the core classes for the business BBA course. So regardless of what major within the business school you decide on, you will take organizational behavior. And that's really looking at people as the basis for competitive advantage and working with and through other people. That class has multiple methods, pedagogical methods, may have some lecture. We also have some in-class activities, experiential activities, even over Zoom. It's actually worked okay. Then we have a semester-long project where students in non-pandemic days actually go to an organization and interact with the organization either through doing some service and service learning project, or in a more of a consulting role where the organization may have a specific problem that they're looking for some help with. And my students contribute in that way by collecting some data, analyzing that data, understanding and bringing the concepts and theories from our class as a lens to analyze that data, and then coming up with some recommendations. And that's also a fun class. In most of our classes, even beyond my own classes, but my colleagues' classes, is that we really try to create a dynamic community, a dynamic high quality learning community where students are learning from the instructors, but they're also learning from one another. And we recognize how important that is to your development and your degree.
Yeah, and I think that's one reason why our graduates do so well when they go out into the labor market or apply for graduate school opportunities, is that they have that extra dimension, right, of not just having had a really good education, a connection with the professor and kind of transactionally learning the information from just the faculty member, but that they've also learned so much from their peers and their colleagues in the classroom because of the small class size and the dynamic experience that our faculty create in that environment. So thank you for sharing that. I think that is all really, really helpful information. And so we have a question here just about, in general, the percentage of students who get an internship or do an internship before they graduate. I know that kind of university-wide, it's over 90% of our students at St. Edward's typically have done some type of internship or research type of experience before they graduate from St. Edward's. I don't know if that statistic is higher within the Monday School of Business or not, but.
So within the business administration major, it is 100%. Because it's a requirement for graduation. So, but certainly within marketing majors, management majors, they all do internships too. So while it's not 100%, it's not that far off from it.
Great, thank you. So students, we have just a few more minutes and are happy to stay on if there are any additional questions. So please feel free to drop in a last question if you have it. I do want to thank Dr. Dunn for her time today and for all of the really great information in both the presentation as well as the open Q&A forum. Students, I hope you have found this helpful and instructive. And certainly if you do have questions for us in the admission office or for Dr. Dunn specifically about the business administration program or School of Business in general, you will find our contact information on the slide in front of you. Dr. Dunn's is listed first, and then the general admission office email is listed second. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have questions as you process this information from the presentation and think of something, or if later on down the road you want to re-engage and have some questions. We are here to help you and to support you. I know this is a very challenging time for all of us in different and unique ways, but certainly for those of you who are going through a college search right now, I know this is a college search is always very challenging. And so to do one during a pandemic, I know is quite daunting. So just know that in the admission office, we're here to help you and to assist you in understanding the process, what your opportunities and options are in terms of application, financial aid, scholarship, visiting campus, learning how to, assess whether St. Edward's is a good fit for you, if you're going to find what you are hoping to find in your academic and your co-curricular journey. So we are here. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. Dr. Dunn, any closing words?
Thank you very much for this great opportunity. I love to engage, and I hope to meet people in person on the Hilltop, but please don't feel free to not hesitate to email me. I promise if I don't know the answer, I'll find a way to figure out where to tell you to go. But please reach out, and good luck.
Excellent. Students, thank you so much for attending.